Hello, WVA Algebra 1 students. So for this course, you have assignments that you have to turn in that would have originally been paper if you were to be in school. But obviously, since you're doing the virtual academy, these can't be paper anymore. Some of you have already been turning these things in to us, and they've been turned in as emails, and you've kind of had to copy and paste things. But we have set up a way for you to turn things in a lot easier. So let me give you some examples of what kind of things you would have to turn in and how you're going to actually turn them in from now on. So if you go into Unit 1, when you are going through your work, there are going to be things that are the overview, the lessons, studies, checkups, quizzes, journals, practice, all kinds of different things. But the only things that you'll have to turn in, it will be very clear when you get to those assignments what you have to turn in as paper. So, which now will be virtual. So like, for example, if you go to a journal and you're in there, the first thing that you'll see is the directions and maybe a video. But in the directions, it says submit your completed assignment to your teacher for grading. So that is what is going to happen every time you have to turn something in separate from Apex as like a quiz. So quizzes are already in Apex where you don't have to turn anything specific in. So a journal is one of them. And then another thing is a practice. So if I go to the practice, I'll show you this example. So looking at the practice, it says, so at the directions, the last thing says, submit your completed assignment to your teacher for grading. So we've got journals, practice, and then the teacher score test. And when you do the teacher score test, that'll be at the end of the unit. Okay, so now that you kind of know the things that you're going to have to turn in separate from Apex, because they were normally paper scored. Now I'm going to show you where they are and what you have to do. So previously you were going to have to save the file yourself and turn it in and all kinds of stuff, but where everything is going to be is in the Schoology folder. So everything will be turned in here that is supposed to be paper. So for Unit 1, you'll have answer keys to checkups because those are not in Apex, so it'll just say answers for you. And then you'll also have the assignments that you have to turn in. So for example, like I said, journals, practice, and teacher score tests. So if I click on the journal that I have to do in Unit 1, when it comes up, is you're going to click on the journal. And I think in yours, it will pop up within Schoology or you can open it separately, but it has all the stuff. So now just note that some of it can be a little tiny bit glitchy in terms of the way you see things, but overall it's pretty good. Please also note that I want you to be sure to use a different color font when putting in answers. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to click text color and pick whatever color you want. That will make it a lot easier for me to be able to grade your work as you go, as I go through the stuff, because if you're putting it in black and I have the questions in black, it's going to be harder for me to find your results. So then you will have a submit button when you're on here, so make sure you submit it. And let's go back. The one thing that you do also need to keep in mind is that although I tell you what the point values are in this, all of your points and scores will always be in Apex. I will actually write the score within the assignment once I've graded it, but I will put everything in Apex. All grades will be there. So Schoology is only used for conferences, so you can come see me, but also for the written work that you have to turn in and any answer keys. But you're not going to have grades posted in here at all. The last thing that I want to make sure that I note is that at the end of the end of the unit, you're going to have a teacher score test. And when you have to take that, that means that all of your work is done. You've got your journals turned in. You've got all your quizzes taken. And you've taken the computer score test. that you tell me to unlock it. I'm not going to just leave it out there because it is a test. So I need to know when you plan on taking it, and I will unlock it for you so you can submit it, and then I'll lock it after you've submitted it. So we just want you guys to know that the goal for all of this was to take work off of you and also make it easier for us to organize and grade your work. So please understand that this was a little time consuming, and that's not your problem. But our goal with this was to make it as easy as possible for you to do your work and focus on that and not focus on copy and pasting things everywhere or making sure that you've sent everything correctly. All right, so please make sure that you are talking to your specific WVA teacher if you need any support with this. If you do end up sending stuff via email, we'll just remind you to send it through Schoology in the future so we're not being bombarded with grading in our emails. Instead, our email is specifically for questions related to class. Thanks.